Hey hookers, welcome back to Inspired by a Smile. My name is Christy, and today I'm excited to say that I'm done the frog top that everybody's been wanting to make. So if you have a 4mm hook and some yarn, let's get started. So here's my hook. Now you could probably actually use any size hook, honestly, because of how I made this top. It's size inclusive. So I am going to do a chain of 35, and that's the length that I wanted my top. That will be coming along later, and we'll explain a little more about that later. But right now we're going to start with the heart for the cheek. So you're going to do a chain of 4 and join it at the end with a slip stitch. And then do a chain, and then you're going to do 7 half double crochet into the circle. And you can crochet over the little piece of yarn so that you can pull it tight after. So again, do 7 half double crochet in total into the circle. While you're doing that, I'd like to thank everybody for subscribing and watching my videos so far. I do appreciate it. They're getting closer and closer to becoming monetized. I really, truly do appreciate it. I am working on my, oh my goodness, on my giveaway. I am excited about that too. Must have made me space for a second. But yes, we're having a giveaway soon for celebrating 1,500 YouTube subscribers. So I'm excited to get that going next week. And if you haven't subscribed already, please make sure that you do, and make sure you turn on notifications so that you don't miss any new videos. Alright, so after you're done that, you can go into the top of the stitch once you have 7 into the hole. And you can do a slip stitch and then a chain, and then you're going to do a double crochet into the stitch, do a chain, and then do another double crochet into the same stitch. And now you're going to do a half double crochet in the next stitch, and then in the stitch after that. And then you want to do, in the same stitch, you're going to do a double crochet. A triple crochet, or treble, whatever term you want to use. Another triple crochet. A double crochet again. And then a slip stitch in the next stitch. And then we're going to repeat that on the other side. So you want to do, in the same stitch, a double, a triple, another triple, and then one more double. And then a half double crochet in the next stitch after that. That's the top of the heart. So a half double crochet after that. And then one more half double crochet. And I'm just going to, I have to adjust the camera here in a second. I'm just making sure of where I'm putting that. So after that last half double crochet, I went into the top of the stitch and did a slip stitch. There we go. Focus back in finally here. So now you're going to do a single, you want to do a border around the heart. So chain one after you do that slip stitch into the side, and then you're going to do a single crochet and then chain one and then do another single crochet in the same stitch. And then you want to do a single crochet up the side of the heart until we get to the top. Alright, so now I'm going to put 2 single crochet in the same stitch. And you want to do that in this one and then in the next one. And then you can do a slip stitch into the middle. And then we gotta repeat what we just did on the other side. So 2 single crochet in the same stitch as long as I can get my hook through. This yarn is stubborn sometimes. It's a cotton blend and I don't know, for some reason it either goes smoothly or it doesn't. No in between. So 2 single crochet same stitch and then 2 in the same stitch again, and then you're gonna go down the side and do single crochet in each stitch all the way down again until the bottom where we're gonna fasten off. And make sure to make 2 of these. I only made 1 in the tutorial just to show you. The other heart is already made. So just going to go along to the bottom. And before I forget, I'd like to thank my patrons so far. If you haven't checked out my patron page already, it's linked on my YouTube channel. Right now I have a special promotion going on as well. It's only $3 a month to tip the artist. It's to support what I do as an artist. And you do receive a free little baby octopus for signing up. And if you do sign up, my next person to sign up, I only have the one right now. So the second patron I get, they'll be getting 2 octopus instead of 1. for signing up, and I regularly sell them for $5 a piece. So you get that times 2 if you're the next person to sign up for $3 a month. If you can spare that a month, then that's greatly appreciated, and it will not go unnoticed. It really does help. So here is the 2 hearts together. After doing I just did a slip stitch to finish it off, and you want to leave a long enough tail to sew that onto the shirt. If you are on my Facebook page at all or anywhere, you'll see also I am going to be going sailing with my family, so anything helps. The views, the patron tips, subscribing, it all actually counts towards getting to our goal, and it's really appreciative. So our family, I'll explain a little before we start the eyeball, that we will be going on a liveaboard sailboat with our cats and kids, and we're going to go explore the ocean for a bit. And be doing some weird crochet in weird places. It should be interesting. So now I'm going to chain 4. Join at the end. And then do a chain, and then you want to do 10 half double crochet into the circle, and you can crochet over that little piece of yarn so you can pull it tight at the end. And again, I'm just going to make the one eyeball in the video, and then the other one is already made. So 10 half double crochet into the circle. Alright, so now I'm at the beginning of the row. It's only one more row, so I didn't put a stitch marker, but you can if you need to. But it's kind of noticeable as well that where the row ends. So do 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. And you want to do that all the way around. Alright, so I'm at the beginning of the row. So I'm just going to skip a stitch and do a slip stitch. Leave a long enough tail to sew the eyeball onto the shirt. Alright, there's 2 eyeballs. Shirt is awkwardly big. Awesome. Okay, so we're gonna do the straps next. I'm not gonna do the full out length of the chain that I did, but this is a chain of 60. That's what I needed for my straps. So since this is a size inclusive tutorial, you may need to make yours shorter or longer depending on you. So mine is 60. This is what I did to make the straps. I'm just going to do a short chain to show you, because again, you're going to have to make these according to your size. But the size I am, I just needed a 60 chain. So I grabbed the chain and I'm going to go, after making another chain, I'm going to go in the second from the hook, and I'm just going to do a single crochet all the way down. It's a simple, nice strap. It's nice and sturdy since it's a chain and single crochet together. And of course, I made 2 of these as well. Just going to show you the one though. You can go over it if you'd like and maybe do like an edge around it, but I find it was, I've made sure to try on the top before I was even done. And just making the straps like this, they're nice and sturdy. I don't recommend just doing a chain. You probably could, but it's a little bit sturdier this way. Especially if you're going to make this for your kid, you can definitely, I recommend making mommy and daughter tops if you haven't thought of it already, because this is the cutest top to do that with. And very easy to make it size inclusive for both you and her. I had to make sure to make it like that because I know that there's going to be so many people making this thing. Alright, so that's all I did for the straps, guys. So that's a short little sample of what I have. Again, I got 2 60 stitch straps that I have for mine. Alright, so now I'm going to do the part behind the eyeball. I made 2 of those separate. It looks like the shirt actually, you just made it with, it looked extended or something, but I like making things differently, of course, so this is how I decided to make it. So chain 4, join at the end with a slip stitch, then do a chain, and you're going to do 10 half double crochet into the circle. Alright, so it's a bit blurry here. Just gonna to fix this. There we go. At the beginning of the row, so I'm just gonna go into the top of the stitch and do 2 half double crochet in the same stitch. And you want to do that all the way around for this row. It's the exact same size as the eyeball too, so it fits nicely. I do apologize if you can hear that. There's annoying children that live in my co-op. That aren't mine. The joys of living in a co-op. Alright, so I'm done that row. I'm going to go in the second stitch from the hook and then do a chain, and I'm going to do little clusters for this row. So do 3 half double crochet in the same stitch, you're going to do a chain, and then I'm going to skip over and go to the third stitch, and I'm going to do another cluster of 3 and then repeat. You're going to do a chain after that and skip over, and you want to do this, you want 6 clusters in total on this row. Make sure to skip over to the third stitch every time. All right, last one. Alright, so we have the back of the frog eye. Again, I did make two. I'll show you this one here. This is what it looks like behind it. And we'll be reinforcing that after we get everything sewn together. So I'm just going to put that over there. I need my scissors and that. So cut it long enough because you got to sew it to the top again. And I'm not sewing into anything or whatever. I'm just going to tie it off here. It's literally going to get sewn right into the top of the top. Alright, so on to showing how I did the stitches in that. So again, you're going to make your top as long as you want. So you may want it, or as short as you want. You might want it shorter than I made mine. There will be pictures and all that how of my top. I'll make sure to get pictures and video. So again, I made a chain of 35 to make it the length that I needed. I have a C cup, and I wear usually a medium to large shirt, so it all depends on your measurements as well. Like, this is really easy to make it to your own fit. So this is a chain of 11, I believe I made, just to give an example of the stitches to go, and you're just going to keep going, like I said, until it's like long enough to pull together in front of your, I just kept going until, yeah, it was long enough to cover in front of my boobs, and it was like, you know, I was able to like stretch it and it was able to come together. That's when you know it's done, and it's not overly tight either. So I'm just going into the back loops of the chain with single crochet each stitch. And I did start that the same way I did my other chain. I always grab it and do another chain and then go in the second from the hook so that I have the right amount of stitches on my chain. So we're just going to keep going with that and do a nice row of single crochet. I'm going to do a few rows so you see the pattern work up. And again, this is like, the length all depends on how long you want it. I made it that way as well, so that if you do want to make it longer, you have that option too. Because I know not everyone wants their stomach showing either. I just recently got comfortable with that myself, so I know how that is. And I mean, if you're making it for a kid, you may want it a little longer too. It would also look cute shorter though, if you're into that as well. So there's the first row. I'm going to do a chain and then I'm going to turn. So now I'm going to go, I usually do, for this effect, I wanted to go in the back of the stitch only. And it has to be on this side for this row. I made it that way as well. So just into the back of the stitch, and I'm going to do a single crochet in each one. And as long as you do this right, you won't do like me and have to frog your frog top a couple times, because it just didn't, it decided that it was going to lose stitches in one part. It was very noticeable and easy to fix though, because I could actually see where I started losing the stitches and just went back. It was funny though. Of course, the irony of frogging your frog top. Alright, we're in that last stitch. And there's a nice little ridge to it. damn camera's so touchy sometimes. So a chain, and then I'm going to turn and do one more chain. Now I'm going to go over a stitch and go in the back stitch only, back loop, and out, and in between I am doing a chain. I should mention that. I just actually forgot to do it right here. So that is why I also did another chain when I started that row. So do a chain and go in the next one, back loop only. And then you're going to keep doing that all the way down. It gives it that little space that it has without being too revealing. Alright, so now we're in the end stitch. And as long as you're doing this correctly, it looks really good too after. And it ends up being flat on the inside, and you see all of the effect of the stitching on the other side. And it makes it nice and stretchy too, how I made it. It's really comfortable. I like it. And it's so cute. After doing a chain one and turning, you're going to go in the back stitch only. And you want to do a single crochet all the way along that row, each stitch. And alternatively, you could actually measure yourself too beforehand, but I wasn't, I just decided to start crocheting this and measure as I go type deal since I was making it for myself. But if you are making it for someone else and you can't just kind of measure at the top as you go on you, then make sure that you get the measurements for their chest size and just underneath the boob so that you make it stretchy enough, because you're going to probably go with the size that's underneath your chest. So after doing a chain one and turning, you're going to do a single crochet right into the stitch this time. And this is the only row we do this on. So again, single crochet right into the stitch for each stitch. I'll try and leave a description as well on how to do the measurements in the description part. I'll make sure it's actually written there as well, just in case you need to see it before making the top. Alright, so I am going to make sure you guys see how the pattern works, so we're going to do this again. So far so good. So this row, after I chained and turned and did another chain, I'm going to skip a stitch and I'm going to do a single crochet into the back loop only. and then do a chain and repeat. Keep skipping a stitch and doing a chain in between each single crochet. And for a project using single crochet for a top, it wasn't too bad. I really do favor half double crochet, but for this one it had to be single, and it was alright, especially because I'm using the 4mm. So that's what it's going to look like, and you keep going with that. So this is how this is what I did for the edge at the bottom after. So you just do a chain at the corner, and then just do a single crochet all along the bottom into the bottom of the shirt, so it gives it a nice straight edge after. Of course, you don't have to do this, but I did. And of course, also that my top is a lot longer than that part. I just had to do a little swatch to just show you. So it will look like this after, and that is the bottom of the top. And make sure that you do leave a long enough tail when you're done. You're going to be sewing it together at the back. So you just you'll be probably pausing the video here, and then you can get back to finishing off the next parts after this. But I'll be moving forward onto the next piece right now. Alright, so I'm going to sew the eyeball onto the back piece that I made for it. And I didn't want any of the yarn showing on the back as much as possible. I did for the face only, but that's the only thing. Everything else actually isn't showing on the back, on the inside of the top. So after threading your needle, just carefully, it's okay for the eyeball, but through the when you go through the green, you want to go in the top of the stitches and go as close together as you can. This way you don't see any black at all on the back. I did the same thing for the hearts. So just keep going, won't do too much talking until we're done at the turn, ready to sew this part off. Awesome job so far, guys. Alright guys, it's a little bit blurry here, but I'm just tucking the yarn into the back of the eyeball, in between the back piece and the eyeball. I'm going to do that a couple times here. So you just take the needle and slide it through on the side of the eyeball a couple times. And then snip, I pull the yarn tight enough so that it does end up going on the inside as well. There we go. So it just has to go on top there beside the strap. And you can kind of use the stitches as a guide as to where to put everything. It's kind of nice. Also, before I continue, I just flipped the top inside out to sew it together so that nothing was going to show on the other side. I didn't get this on video, but I literally just sewed it twice over. That's why I did leave a long enough tail here, so I went over it twice. I went down on the inside of the stitches close together, and then just on the inside like I said, and then back over it, and then that way it's not showing it all on the other side. It's just a little blurry too because I'm moving too much. I'll get that fixed in a second. But yeah, real simple sew at the back. And as long as you go over it, I went over it twice just to make sure. And there's a nice, it just looks nice and clean at the back because there's nothing showing on the back of it either. As long as you just go on the inside of the stitches. So I'm going to line up the eyeball first with the other one to make things easier. So I'll make sure it's in view here. It's probably one of the biggest things that I've had to have on the camera like this. So I'm just making sure it lines up. Like I said, the stitching on the shirt makes it easy to line that up too. You can see where your other eyeball is once you get that stuff on first. And it really doesn't matter the placement as long as you're comfortable of where it is. I made sure mine was like not too far from the strap for the eyeball anyway. And then I just lined up the cheek after that and went from there. think the camera's just as excited as I am to get this tutorial done. Alright, so once you have the eye in place, you're just gonna sew. You can sew right into the top there like this. This is basically also how I did the back of the shirt, just into the top of your stitches. And I'm gonna go over it again after too. I'm just going into the green to make sure I don't sew through the black at all. And just pull it tight enough. Got one little stitch that snuck through with the black, but it's okay. Alright, so I'm just going to carefully go back the other way now so that it's reinforced and helps it stand up a bit better as well to go over it. Doing the trim really helps them stand up as well. Before I did the trim, I almost thought I had to adjust the eyeballs to go down, but the trim saved that. Alright, so I'm actually just going over it again too. Gives it a bit more stability, plus it's blending the green a little bit better too. Nobody wants to lose an eyeball. Alright, so now I'm just gonna hide that yarn, sew it in so that it's nice and secure and tucked in nicely. Alright, time to put on the heart cheeks. So I'm going to surface sew this as well. Same as the eyeball. And I'm just going to line it up as much as I can here with the other one. I'm not overly concerned on it being perfect though, because they are little heart cheeks. So if it's not totally in the same spot, that's okay too. Okay, so just if you need to, put pins, but I'm stubborn. I used my pins maybe once now since I bought them. And I've been crocheting for years. So I'm just going to hold this in place with my thumb. And I'm just going to go right through the heart and into the top of the stitch of the green. And make sure to go close enough together. And as long as you do go in the top of the stitch, you won't see any pink on the inside of the shirt either. It's not totally a huge deal if you do, but I'm used to making hats and that and surface sewing on other stuff, so I like doing it like this. So just keep doing this until you get to the end, and then we're going to tuck the yarn in again like I did on the eyeball. And just make sure you do pull it tight enough so you're not seeing your stitches too much. The closer you can get underneath the heart, the better too, so that you're not seeing anything. Alright, so I'm about to tuck the yarn in a sec. I'm just making sure that it's nice and tight and that the heart is sewn on to my liking. So I'm going in between the heart and the shirt to tuck that in. So I'm going to do that again. I'm just going over a couple stitches. There we go. And just carefully snip, pull tight enough, and then it'll hide itself after. If you have to tuck it in with the yarn needle, then it's easy to do as well. And see, nothing on the back. There's both sides done. So now I'm going to cut myself a piece of black yarn long enough just to sew that simple little smile on that is on its face. This is the only thing you really see yarn in the side of the shirt for too. So I'm threading the needle and I'm going to do a knot at the other end. So I'm going to knot it 3 times. And then you're going to just find, I just put it as close to the middle as I could find anyways, as what I did. And I'm going to go on the inside of the front of the shirt with the needle to start. So just pick where you want to start your mouse. Try and pull that down a bit more. So right back through, and that's the middle part. Definitely make the smile however you like too if you want to do something different. I encourage it. I'm just gonna go find the spot where it meets the top of that and gonna go right back through the middle part. Awesome, so I'm just going to flip it inside out. And just to make sure it's secure, you can sew through the stitch on the back of the top. I'm going to go through a few times here, and you won't see it on the front as long as you just go through the back of the stitch. And you just leave it like that. Awesome. So now I'm going to put the strap on the other side. That was really simple to do as well. I sewed it kind of on the inside of the stitches, just like on the inside of the shirt, so that it was easier to go around and do the edge of the top after. So I'm just going to get rid of this little piece of yarn first. So just pick what side you're going to use for the front of your strap. I usually have a preference. So I am going in the back of my strap here now with this little annoying piece of yarn and going to get rid of that. So it's fairly easy to also line up the straps after. It's probably one of the easiest tops I've made, minus the part where I had to frog it a couple times, but that was just because for some reason crocheting in a straight piece just doesn't, I don't know, after years of crocheting it's still out to get me. If it was a dish towel, I wouldn't even care. I would have just left it, but it was looking really, really bad. So just carefully go on the inside of the top with your needle, and you can sew into the bottom of the strap, and just do that a few times. Make sure it's on there good. And like I said, I made it so it was on the inside a bit, just so it's easier to crochet around the top when you do the trim. If you haven't seen the teaser videos already, I am making a Halloween themed penis, since that's another popular. My cactus penis is really popular on my channel, so I had to do some Halloween ones. So there's some Halloweenies coming. The first one will be a ghost. I'll wait to show off the second one. I'm not even going to mention what that one is, but the first one will be a ghost. It's almost done as well. And there's already people anxiously waiting to make that, and I know that you are, so it's coming next. I can't wait to get that uploaded as well, and also get the giveaway going. My next giveaway for your YouTube subscribers will be at 5,000. And this giveaway I'm pretty excited for. It's pretty useful and fun for us crocheting people. A lot of useful things in it and fun things. I'll most likely post about it on Monday once I have everything together. So after sewing into the top a bit and fastening off, you can go You want to sew the other part into the back of the top, which it's super easy as well. It's pretty straightforward. I just needed to cut a piece of yarn though. You need a long enough piece of yarn that you're going to cut to sew into the back of the strap, since there's no yarn on the end at all. So that's what I'm doing right now and threading that. Don't worry, it won't be blurry when we go to sew it. So literally just flip your top over and you can line up the back of the strap with the front pretty easily. Alright, so because you're going to be joining this yarn, I'm just going to go through like this first. And you want to leave a little tail, and you can just sew over it so that it's nice and secure. I'm pretty excited to wear this one. I have a few crochet tops now. They're almost taking over my wardrobe. This one's really comfy. I had it on just to try it on before it was even finished, and it's really nice, especially if you use cotton. I'm sure it would be nice and soft though if you use acrylic. If you want to use that, it would be nice as well. The fit of it is very cozy. Alright, so now I'm just tucking in the yarn. You really don't want your straps to fall off, so make sure that that's nice and secure. It's the top itself is nice, and if you do make it tight enough, it's not gonna drop anyways, but still. we go. Straps are all done. Awesome job so far, guys. Almost done. Okay, so now I'm just gonna you're gonna have to grab the green yarn again, and see right here, you've as long as you left this tail, you just can you can attach the yarn here. If not, it's easy to attach the yarn on. You could just simply sew it into the top and get it on there too, but I have that still on there. And now I'm just gonna single crochet into the top of the top around the edge until I get to the front, and then I'm gonna show you what I had to do around the frog eyes. So I will come back in a few seconds. I'm just gonna show you how to start this though, and then you're gonna stop right before you're done the strap. You'll see where I stop and start where I have to do different stitching. But you're just going to simply go close enough and along the edge at the top and do single crochet, and you can even crochet over the yarn so that it's hidden as well. So let's do a few stitches here, and again you're going to stop right when you're going to right when you get to the beginning of the front of the top, right where the strap starts basically. Alright, so I'm just gonna meet you back. Okay, so we got single crochet all the way up until the front here where your strap is, see here? And you can also see the gap part of the stitching. That's where I stopped with the single crochet. Now I'm gonna do a double or a chain, and you're gonna go over into about the middle part of this part, and you're gonna do a double crochet, so it's a nice enough gap right there. It's where your stitches are being where you're crocheting your stitches into the stitch, not into the back loops. That's where I dug my hook in right there, to be exact. Now do another chain, and I'm going to go over again, do another double crochet, that's where the spaces are for the stitches. Now do a chain, and you're going to go right in here, and you want to do another double crochet, and then another chain, and now you're going to do a slip stitch into the side of the part of the eye here, into the second cluster here, and you want to go right in right there, and then do a slip stitch, and then you're going to start doing single crochet in the next one and all the way around the edge of the eyeball. And then you'll see I'll start Next part I'll explain is when you get to the other side of the eyeball. I'm very happy this worked because I really didn't want to have to fix the tutorial if I didn't have to, and if you really want to though, you can put the eyeballs down a bit more, but it worked out this way too. The edging just wasn't working at first, just doing single crochet all the way around, so the eyes were being weird and not standing up properly. So now they cooperate a lot better being crocheted like this. So make sure also, guys, if you can, please make sure you like and share the video even. I do appreciate it. Every like, watch, subscribe, everything helps, and I do really appreciate it. It keeps my videos in the algorithm every time you like it or watch it, or even leave a comment on it. So at this point I'm doing a chain, and then I'm gonna go into the shirt right here, and I want to do a double crochet. And now in the next stitch and over, you're going to do single crochet until you get to the next eyeball. So just as we were doing before with the simple edging, just a single crochet. Alright, so we're going to do a double crochet here. Just make sure it's lined up with your other double crochet. It's really easy to check that. And then do a chain, and you're going to do a single crochet into the eyeball. Line it up with where you have it on your other one. I love how easy it is to line all this up. It made it so easy. Now I'm just going to single crochet again all the way around, so we can do that other part. I am so excited to see everybody's tops. I know there's other people also designing it as well. I'm so excited to see what they come up with. I'm loving everybody's. I've seen a couple so far, other than mine. And I love that everyone's wanting to make it so badly. It's great that we're making it instead of supporting mass company. So I know I appreciate that you're supporting me by watching my video. I really do. Instead of buying it from them. So I just did a slip stitch right there. It's where I did my other slip stitch on the second last cluster, and then you're gonna do a chain, and then to that open space right there, and just repeat what we did on the other side and make sure your gaps are like about the same. It's pretty easy to get to match up. So chain and then another double crochet and then chain, and then you're going to do your last double crochet. So I'm just making sure it lines up with my other one. And now it's back to single crochet to the end. So I'm just gonna keep going. So just keep going like you were. Awesome, guys. So I'm at the end here where my row started. So excited to have this done. So I am going to leave a loft after joining it with a slip stitch. You leave a long enough tail. So just go into the back of your top and hide the edges, or hide the not the edges, you want to hide your loose yarn, and make sure that you go through a few stitches. And again, I do really appreciate everybody for watching. And if you'd like to check out my Patreon, I'd really appreciate it, even if you go check it out. And like I said, you get a free octopus when you do sign up. It's only $3 a month, and it helps support what I'm doing now and when we get out to BC onto our sailboat. And it is only $3 a month. And the next person that does sign up is going to get 2 octopuses. So I'll make sure of that. You just have to message me on Patreon, or you can message me on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. I'm on TikTok as well, Instagram, Twitter, Pinterest. You can find me there as well. I'm all over the place. Alright, so I'm just going to snip that. We've got this lovely, I'm just going to zoom out, two-tone green top. It's an awesome job, guys. Yay.